I feel like this is a trick.
Whether you like it or don't like it, learn to love it because it is the best thing going today.
Was that?
That was life-changing.
Is that
And we are back. You already know what time it is. It is another episode of Act Up with me, Alana J. And I'm so excited to be here today at Bravery Studios, New Jersey's #1 podcasting recording studio. Yeah, all of that. This is a friendly reminder to please subscribe wherever you are tuned in to the episode today. Share, tell a friend, do all the things. And I'm here with another awesome guest. I'm so excited. His artistic pronouns. This is my new thing, is artistic pronouns. His artistic pronouns. He is an actor. He's a filmmaker. He is a creative engineer. Ladies and gentlemen, there's none of those here. It is Marc Rain in the building.
Yeah, what it is.
What it is. What it do.
Alana, what up?
I'm so happy you're here.
I'm happy to be here.
I'm so happy we finally made it happen.
We did.
Because Marc be in high demand and shit. All right, and behind the glass, we got Lorena, and I'm so happy she's here too. We're going to bring her in for her own episode.
It's a fact.
But without further ado, we're going to get into my little segment called Palabras. Yeah.
Words.
Gotta add some Latino flair to this show. You know what I mean? I gotta add my Puerto Ricanness. I'm 0.5, still alive. Anyway. Are we ready?
Let's do it.
Okay. So Marc is going to get a word, and he's going to give me the first word or thought. And here we go. Riot.
Protest.
Hierarchy.
Class system.
Carrot.
Healthy.
Root.
The beginning.
Prosecution.
Execution.
Ooh, I like that. Negotiation.
Debates.
Offend.
Insult.
Fragrant.
Smell good.
Entertainment.
Laughing.
Constellation.
Constipation?
Oh, did you say constipation? Love that journey. Love that journey. Survivor.
Fighter.
Greet.
Hey.
Handy.
Smart.
Quota.
Demands.
Cut.
Bleeding.
Nailed it.
I tried.
You nailed it.
Did I?
What was the one? Was it greeting? Was that one of the ones?
When you said greet.
Oh, I said greet.
I'm like, hey.
See, that's an actor's brain. You have an actor's brain. You were like, I'm going to start a scene. That's what I'm going to do.
Right. It was just.
I'm going to initiate a scene off of this word. That was amazing. That was awesome. All right.
That was fun. For sure.
Right? It's like a little warm-up.
You said constellation, and my brain was trying to be fast because I didn't want to take too much time. I was like, what's constellation? I'm like, sounds like constipation.
Yes.
So we're just going to go with that.
Yes. I love that. I don't love being constipated, but
Right. I'm like, these two things, I don't know if they correlate, but
they can.
I guess if
They can. There can be a constellation of constipations.
we work through that.
Or the constellation could be constipated. It's possible. Stardust and whatnot. Maybe they backed up, but they stardust. They can't. You know what I mean?
Constellation after the constipation. I don't know.
I don't know, but
Maybe.
they're
That's funny though.
we're gonna write a movie about that. Maybe we'll see. We'll find out. Okay, so now I'm gonna give you for a minute. We're gonna do a rapid fire interview. This is gonna be like Facebook facts type stuff. So
Interesting.
let's just try to keep the answers as succinct as possible.
Gotcha.
And what was your favorite job ever?
Oh, now as an actor is my favorite job. But if I'm being more specific, I gotta say, I work at the Apollo part-time. So that's probably my favorite, like, side job.
It's lit. What's your favorite animal?
Favorite animal? I guess cliche is a lion because I'm a Leo. But if I had to think more,
That makes sense.
If I had to think more domestically, dogs.
I like that. He's being specific. Lions and dogs, they go together.
Right.
Favorite actor?
I gotta go with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Okay. Leo. Leo.
Damn it!
Okay.
Didn't even.
Look at that. Favorite destination, vacation destination?
I'm gonna be honest. I haven't traveled the world like that. But I love my island, Puerto Rico, for sure.
Puerto Rico! Oh, shit. We got 2 seconds. Favorite food?
Um, home food.
Home food. Home food. Any food in the house?
Home cooked food.
Home cooked food.
Right.
Okay, what's your favorite home cooked meal? Sorry, the interview's over, but now I need to know more specifically.
I mean, as a Puerto Rican, definitely the rice and beans. Well, we call it fricassé, but it's really chicken stew.
Fricassé?
Yeah, my dad called it fricassé, and I don't really remember why.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
He made it up.
He has a reason why
okay.
he called it that. I just don't remember what the reason is.
Call him. I'm just kidding.
I know, right?
Just kidding. We'll find out later. Suspense. The suspense is going to kill y'all. I know.
But I like to, I'm an adventurous eater.
Yeah.
So I like to try all kinds of different flavors and foods,
You like to cook too, no?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. I can make a mean bowl of cereal, but.
Facts. I could make a mean hard-boiled egg.
Right.
Actually, sometimes I be messing that up because it accidentally be poaching, and I hate a poached egg. Gross.
My sandwiches are lit. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're a sandwich constructor.
Yeah. My nephew says, at least, he'd be like, "Yo, this is bussin'."
Listen, if the kid says it's bussin',
right.
It's all about the youth.
And he don't eat everything, so facts.
He don't eat everything. He picky.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, but he eats Theo Marc's
right.
constructed.
Theo Rain is what he calls me.
Theo
He's
Rain.
like, Theo Rain sandwich be bussin'.
I feel like that's an album name for you.
I know,
Theo
right?
Rain. Theo Rain. I know I'm stupid. You know this.
Love it.
Marc, let's talk about how we met. Because I be talking about everybody on the show is my friend. So,
Word. How many years has it been now? What was that, 2017?
I don't want to think about the time.
I know,
but
right?
What is time? We made it up.
It was, we met during, we were making a show.
We were making a show. We did make a show.
Through work. Most of my friends today that I know is through work.
Same. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. But it's good though.
It is good. I mean, we're very specific, like artists. Like we. I don't care what nobody says. We need each other. Like
100%.
We need each other.
Mm-hmm.
And post grad school, I'm feeling that more than ever. Like I was just talking to my friend Justin last night. I miss having a soulness of purpose in school. Like being back home, let's collab. Oh yeah, tomorrow. Yeah,
Right.
what time? And then my bad, your sign came up, but like when I was in school, if we said we're gonna get together at 2:00 to rehearse for 2 hours, we did.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like there was never.
Right.
And I miss that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just made it
I
about
feel
me.
you.
But
it doesn't. No, we'll just talk. I mean, at the end of the day, the creative process is a collaboration.
yeah,
On every level, whether it's on stage, whether it's on camera, podcast. Like we're not. You don't do this alone.
no.
I
I mean, you can, but it's not. And even still, when I do it alone, I got Marv in the building. So am I really alone? No.
But that's what I mean.
And I got Jesus over here somewhere. You know,
there's
there.
There's one more person. Shout out to Marc. He's quick with it. But it's all a collaboration, know. But to your point, like when you find those people that are really about it, are the people that are like when they say 2:00 rehearsing for 2 hours. And they stick to it, those are the people you really want to stick with and gravitate.
Yeah, we got to take that action.
Yeah,
it's all about that action. Don't talk about it, be about it. You heard?
Right. Because even with like us and setting up this podcast, this is maybe like the second or third attempt. I'm not gonna lie. And
it's
then
okay.
I was like, she gonna think I don't want to do this, or I'm not gonna take it serious. And I'm like, nah, we doing it Sunday. What we said Sunday. I'm like, all right, we're going.
See, I did that strategically with you because I know you're busy. So I was like, you know what? I probably need to give him less notice. You know what I mean? Like this, like
That's
either
true.
you can do it this Sunday. So everybody's a little bit different.
That
So,
worked.
I'm smart and I take in information and I'm like, I'm going to pivot, you know? Like, I'm not going to book you out 2 months in advance if I know
Right.
you in demand and you got shit
Right.
going on. You know what I mean? So anyway, back to how we met.
Right.
Basically, I remember I needed a DP,
Yes.
a director of photography.
Oh,
for
yeah.
those who don't know,
Right.
I like to educate people because
Right.
people be throwing out vocab. I'm like, my friends who are listening, because it's probably my friends and my mother. They don't know the
Right.
vocab. Anyway,
Yep.
so I needed a DP because
Mhm.
somebody backed out. And I hit up Juan Bago.
Oh,
And he
yeah.
or I put a post up and he reached out to me. No, I think I hit him up directly,
think you hit him
actually.
up.
I think I hit him up directly and he was like, what's your budget? I got somebody. And I was like, bet. And then you showed up in Harlem at Jordan's house the next day or 2 days later or whatever. It was very short notice.
Wow,
It was
that's
very
right.
short notice
That's right.
because I had somebody booked and they fudged up. They were like, oh, I didn't
Right.
realize you needed me for both dates. I'm like, bro, can you differentiate between and or?
Right.
I didn't say or. I said and. Anyway.
That's so crazy because, like, you brought me back. I
Mhm.
forgot that was, like, the fine details of it. Like, I knew
Yeah.
where we met, but that's exactly what it was.
Mhm.
And I was shooting a lot of videos with Juan Bago at that time.
You were shooting a lot,
So, I
period.
mean, I was.
like photography,
Yeah, I was
filming other
doing-
people's shorts.
Yeah, yeah.
You were
I
shooting
was.
a lot back then. I remember you were
Definitely.
more so behind the camera at that time. You were doing a lot more behind the camera.
Well,
at
that
time.
was what was really crazy is that I never stopped acting. Like, I was
Right.
always either on stage or on camera. But, and you know this,
Yeah.
the process for theater and the process for film or TV, there's so much downtime. So what are you doing in between those downtime between either rehearsal or between your next play or between your next whatever it is you're shooting? There's so much downtime, I mean, you could have, a month, 2 months, maybe even 6 months of straight shooting, but then there's going to be a lot of downtime.
right.
So
You have 2 years of nada.
it happens.
It happens.
And so I always wanted to make sure I was working and doing something.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, so even while I was in a play or shooting something or acting in a series or whatever, I was like, okay, I'm shooting these days, so that means these other days I could be doing other things.
Right.
And honestly, like a lot of people are like, yo, Mark, like, you know everybody, you're a great networker. And it just came from that. It came from wanting to stay busy and stay working, no matter, how tired I was. And I'm not gonna lie, it definitely spread me thin, which is why I put the camera down for about, 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
But, I was shooting a lot with Bago, short films. And so it was through Bago. He hit me up. He was like, hey, I got somebody that needs a DP. I think it was like in a day or
Yeah.
two.
It was very
And
short.
I looked at my calendar and I was like, I got time there. Let's go.
I was
do it.
determined. I was like, we are not canceling this. We're going to
Fine.
figure this the F out. There's too
And
many
we-
people. There's too many resources in New York. Like, we are going to find a way. And the only reason I had that attitude was because of my previous experience as a PA for Maury. Because my job was putting out fires. That was my job.
Shit.
I was a firewoman
That's funny.
and a therapist and a dental hygienist. It's a lot. Anyway, we'll get into that another episode.
You are not working in it anymore.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I knew, I was like, if I could do the things that I had to do, I know
At
that I
that
can.
time.
I
Yeah.
know how to be resourceful. That's the
Yeah.
one thing I'm so grateful for that job for. It taught me how to be resourceful. As far as, production is really just a series of putting out fires. Like, remember
Problem solving.
the days that we were on set. I think there was
Oh my
one day
God.
that we were shooting. We were shooting and there was construction happening across the
Yeah.
street. And they, like, literally every time we started rolling, the construction went back on and Jordan ran across the street and was like, can you guys please stop for we just need 5 to 10 minutes. And they said, they were like, all right, we're going to give you 10 minutes. And we got done
Right.
what we needed to get
Yeah,
done, because we
yeah.
were shooting guerrilla,
Literally. It was,
we didn't have no
it was
blocks
just us.
closed off. Yeah.
it was just us. I think,
Yeah.
was I doing sound too? Like,
No,
who
you weren't
was
doing sound. You weren't doing
We
sound.
had somebody doing
We had
sound
somebody doing sound.
for the first season?
Yes.
Okay.
The only resources we
remember
had for the first season was a DP and a sound
Right,
person.
it was really skeleton.
Like, we were basically our own PAs. You know what I
Gotcha.
mean? It was super skeleton.
100%.
Super
Yeah,
skeleton.
Yeah.
And then the second season, I think maybe we had a PA on set as
We had a
well.
little bit more. It was
But
nice.
Still not
Upgrading
much.
the camera, upgrading
Right.
all types of stuff.
Right.
That was awesome. The show was called Too Grown for those who, but what was it called?
TWO grown.
Right.
I've talked about it before,
Okay.
but we'll remind them. We'll remind you.
Right. Two, like TWO,
Mm-hmm.
Too Grown. That was a lot of fun to shoot. I had a lot of good times on that set with y'all.
Yeah.
We just had a lot of fun there.
I had a blast.
But that's where we met. That's so crazy.
Yeah.
And I thought the second season was on BT, right?
Yeah.
It was
Well, they put both. They put both on their
that's right,
on their
that's
social.
right.
They put both, so it's still up. It's still up there.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
But yeah, the first season we came fully out of pocket, and then the second season we got
A
some
little
help.
bit. No.
We got some help. That was nice. That was nice. That was great.
It was.
That was great because that was literally a dream come true for me. You
That was
know,
motivation.
like
okay, we're doing something right.
exactly. I'm like,
Yeah.
what do I want to do? I want to create, but with someone else's money.
Right.
You know, and
That's
we
the
did
goal.
that. And we did that.
Yeah.
So, and we'll do it again. We
It's
gonna
gonna
do it
happen.
again. Another one. We gonna get another one. So
Another.
we'll manifest that. We'll manifest
Right.
that at some point. So that is how we met, and you definitely elevated the whole project. You definitely
Appreciate
elevated the
that.
whole project. I couldn't have been happier, honestly. And I like specifically remember Bago saying like, yeah, like we need more Marc Rains in this business, you know, because
Appreciate
not
that.
only are you a great shooter, but like editor, you know, and actor. Are you kidding me? Like, that's
Yeah.
creative engineer. That's all part of it, I guess, right?
That's really where I came up with that term
Uh-huh.
because at that time, like you said, it looked like I was shooting more than I was even acting, even though
Yeah.
it was all still happening,
Right.
you know, in parallel. But that's why I ultimately put the camera down because some people only knew me as a photographer, some people only knew me as a videographer or an editor, and then they didn't even know I was an actor. And so I kind of had to
Rebrand.
like gain control over that because I was like, okay, I love to do it all, and I do it at a pretty good, you know, quality
Yes.
quality level.
Definitely.
Can't even talk quality level. Where
So right, we didn't do any diction
Right,
and
right, we didn't
articulation
warm up, we didn't
exercises
warm up.
before.
Yeah.
Give me the gift of a grip top sock. Anyway,
That's a new one. I've heard that one. But yeah, so you know, like I could have just went straight and been like a really published photographer. You know, I could have been a DP doing big stuff, or you know, just editing people's stuff. I could have went either of those directions.
right,
You know, but
which
I
is
went
a blessing and a curse sometimes.
right. I mean, I'm just focused on the blessing part. But
Yeah.
but it could be heavy and a curse. The curse of it was that I was too spread thin.
Right. That's what I mean.
And-
That's what I mean.
And I needed to choose what I wanted to focus on,
Yeah, you need to commit.
you know, because it was like I could do all these things.
Yeah.
But what am I thriving in?
What
You
direction?
know,
What
like what's
direction?
the main thing? And people
Yeah.
would tell me all the time, like, so what's the main thing? And I was stubborn. I was like, nah, I could do it all.
Mm-hmm.
I do all of it already. Like, what you mean? You know. But I started to see that. I've started to feel a little bit, you know, hamstering that wheel where I'm just like, so what's pushing me forward though?
Yeah.
Because I could be doing a bunch of music. I was shooting music videos. I mean, I was doing this thing. I was like, I could do this for a long time.
Yeah.
But what's you remember your dream? What's your goal? So I kind of had to sit back.
Right. There's a difference between, I'm thinking about this quote right now. There's a difference between like staying busy and having momentum. I think that might be it. Right? Because if you're just busy, you're just
Right.
busy. But
Right.
if you're
No,
just doing
exactly.
everything, then you're just busy. But if you're
Exactly.
not focused, then you don't have momentum.
That's exactly what it was. I was just busy.
Right. And I can
And,
relate to that. Trust me.
You know, and it feels good to be busy, but
Yeah.
was there real momentum? And I guess, you know, there's always some good out of all of it, you know, because I met a lot of people,
Right.
you know, and that then gave me momentum later, you know,
Right.
because then those are people, how did you get this job? Or well, I knew this person because I shot this or I edited that, you know. But I definitely had to take a sit back, and you know, the universe kind of did it for me because I had this thoughts. I was like, I'm gonna put the camera down, but I had all these clients like returning. Oh, I want the shots or
Yeah.
this and that. Third, I was doing everything, self tapes, and the camera caught a mechanical error, like randomly. It was almost a year-old camera, like brand
New.
And I remember I just got to Puerto Rico. I used to take, you know, photos of like just street photography, landscapes, just wildlife, right? Animals or whatever. It was just, literally the first day in PR, I was about to take a first shot and the camera just went like, did like a weird sound and it's a mechanical error. And I was like, what? I mean, this is a $2,500 camera. So I was like, no.
Yeah.
I think it was like
Don't play with
3,000,
me.
But long story short, you know, when things like that happen, I usually just sit still and kind of just try to listen to what God, the universe, whatever you believe in, is trying to tell me.
Right.
And I was like, okay, I get it. I hear you. Put the camera down, focus on your acting.
Yeah.
That's what you went to school for. That was what started all of this, just focus there. And I was like, all right. So it was hard because people would be like, yo, but I need. I'm like, the good excuse was that the camera didn't work no more.
Right.
So I was like, listen, the camera's down. Like, I don't know when I'm going to get it repaired. Because then the other bullshit was that then I go and look into repairing it. So I call up Canon because regular people just can't mess with the camera.
Yeah.
And it was like $2,500 just to fix the camera.
Might as well get a new damn camera.
Almost. But the camera was brand new. So it was like, when I got it, it was like $3,000 or $3,500. I can't remember right now. It was a 5D Mark III. And it was like damn near buying it all over again. And I was like, I'm not about to spend that money. I didn't even have that money. You know what I mean? I was like, no, yeah, I'm leaving it there.
Yeah. That's...
So that was a blessing in disguise because then I was like, cool, I can just focus then on this.
Yeah, and not just focus on this, but like focus on you.
Right.
Focus
definitely.
on you.
Yep.
You know, because look, like people that have loving hearts, which a lot of artists do, we tend to self-abandon, because we want the best for everybody, but sometimes like you got to be a little selfish, and selfishness gets a negative connotation. Like, well, what about
It really does.
What about me?
Yeah.
That's not a bad thing to think.
Definitely.
Because if you're not doing what's fulfilling you and what's filling your cup, then what's the point?
Yeah.
Money aside, what's the point?
Literally.
So, yeah.
That lesson, I guess I'm constantly, I don't want to say getting taught that lesson, but in different levels.
Yeah.
Because then the camera went down, so I let that go and kept going forward, started acting more again and focusing on being in front of the camera. Even with some of my creative peers, they got used to me doing stuff behind the camera, or just because I'm the person that I believe in myself so much and the things that I can do, that there was a bit of self-abandonment where it was like, I'm not worried about me. Like, I know it's for me. I know it's destined for me.
Yeah.
I know I'm going to get there, but I can help so many people along the way.
Right.
Or you don't know how to do this, I can help you. Or you don't got nobody to help you do this for you, I can do that for you. So I started to then help people in that way. So when I kind of went into that selfish, mode where I was
you
like...
just set boundaries with people.
Right, I was like, look, I know I used to do those things, but I'm more focused on being the lead. I'm more focused on being front and center, for my career. And most people understood it. They were like, duh, Mark, like, yeah, that's who you are. It's the way you should be, But some other people, it is what it is. People, that comes with the business. They kind of took it a different way, where maybe they thought I was being bougie or something all of a sudden, or I'm sure maybe they thought it was narcissistic or whatever, But I had to kind of just let go of even the thought of trying to figure or understand their reaction.
Yeah.
I was
because
like,
fuck them. No, I'm just kidding.
To an extent, yeah, it was
to an extent, like I have found that my relationships that have dissipated in this business that's all happened when I set boundaries.
Right.
And when you set boundaries with people, they show you who they really are, or at least how they value or don't value you.
Right. So
yeah, you got to do it, and it could be painful, but the only way out is through, and all that honky dory jazz.
Right. I think, you definitely go through those. Well, it's like outgrowing that shell, right? You got to leave that shell and go find another shell that's gonna, a bigger shell
or
for
a better
you.
shell,
or right, something that you want. And so that's constantly happening. And
I also feel like that immediately started paying off for you when you made that.
It did.
Decision.
It definitely did. And it always does, honestly. It always sucks because I have to kind of let go of certain people and certain things, but I think that is necessary for artists for sure, but just humans in general. We have to there's this whole thing of like people when they say like, oh, I'm real, because I ain't never changed. I ain't never switch up. I've been the same person since day one. I'm
Yeah, but
like,
why?
that's actually not good. That's actually not good.
You gotta evolve.
Like, right. That means you're 40 years old, still 17 years old up here. That's not good. I'm sorry.
It's not.
You know, and it has nothing to do with you being real. In fact, you're running from growth. You know what I mean?
Oh,
And
that's a bar.
That's scary. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a very scary thing for people to come to those realities, you know, or that thought of, oh snap, I gotta let these things go so that I can continue to mature and continue to grow to this next thing. That's scary. And that's why, you know, I think a lot of people, if not most people on this planet, don't get to that. They're scared of it. So we have a lot of immature people, a lot of I call them immature aged humans. They're not grown. They just aged.
Yeah.
You know,
That's relatable.
so
I'm a baby adult. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah.
I'm working on it.
No one's
I'm a
perfect.
toddler adult. I'm a toddler adult.
Young guys.
I'm a pre-K. Fuck that. I'm a pre-K adult. I'm in pre-K with my nephew right now. I'm in pre-K with my nephew right now, adult.
No one's perfect. I think it's just about realizing where, you know, those better steps could be.
Yeah. I read a meme the other day that was like, if you don't look at yourself 5 years ago and think you were a fucking asshole, you have not grown. You know?
Right.
I mean, not like
I mean, if I think about myself
universally,
right now,
but
5 years ago, I was never really an asshole. I've never been an asshole to people. But if you know, maybe I was an asshole to myself.
yeah.
You know, like you're an asshole somewhere.
And that's the worst person to be an asshole to.
Exactly.
The worst person to be an asshole to, the worst person to lie to is yourself.
Right.
So relatable right now.
I know, right?
Yeah. If only you guys heard the conversation before we started
I think they
recording.
were rolling on that. Marc said he's gonna release that later.
It's for later.
But yeah, not to get too deep.
Yeah, we could get deep. We could get
into
deep.
that, you know, but yeah, so that constantly happens a lot because I'm a really reflective kind of person, you know, and I think I've been doing it now 14 years.
Acting?
Almost 15, yeah.
Claps? Can we get claps? Bring in the claps!
I appreciate that.
Bring in the claps!
And
That's big.
it's a commitment.
It
for
is.
Sure.
Acting is for a lifetime. This is what
Exactly.
like obviously we get it, right? But like family, proximity, people in proximity, you know, who want to judge and project their own BS onto you. You know, it's like, well, you know this, like my brother, I'm shouting you out, Brandon. My brother literally the other day was like, well, you know this acting thing might not happen, right? And I was just like, the only way it's not going to happen is if I quit.
Right. Exactly.
This is for a lifetime. Just because, you know, I'm not bringing in the big bucks, you know, off the acting yet.
Right.
Don't mean I'm not where I'm supposed to be, or, you know, that this is all for naught. But I mean, just the way that our society is, and, you know, what's enculturated to be normal, people just don't standard, you know what I mean? Like this is unorthodox. What we do is unorthodox, and
they definitely don't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I really don't like that guy.
Yeah.
I love my brother, though. I do love my brother. He's just very, like, we're complete opposites. We're just polar opposites.
I mean, and it's not their fault.
No, it's not.
Like,
Absolutely not.
Like it's not their fault that they don't get it. They're not in it.
They're not in it.
You know, like the whole, well, you know, this acting thing may not happen. It's already happening.
Exactly.
That's the thing.
I'm like, Brandon, I'm like,
happening.
bro, I'm getting residuals right now. What is you talking about?
Like, this is
Like,
what it looks like.
Every month I could afford to take the subway for my residuals. Like, what is you talking about?
What do you mean?
You know what I'm saying?
You know? And in 22 and a half years, I'll be able to pay the summons that I got for evading the subway fare. So what is you talking about? No, I'm just kidding. We don't need claps for that. That is a true story, though. I did hop the subway and got caught.
Listen.
That was the first time I did that in like 20 years. And everybody was like, you're a native New Yorker and you don't hop the subway? You're not a real New Yorker. And I was like, all right, bet. Boom. As soon as I did it, the one time, The one time there were 2 cops
Oh man.
downstairs.
Oh no.
And I cried. I was like, I just got fired. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And they were like, look, just go to the court and they'll figure it out for you. But I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna take accountability and I'm gonna pay this stupid thing. So anyway, I just
Good for you
unpacked.
for taking accountability.
I just unpacked a joke that I've been saying on stage. So hey y'all, it's your girl Alana J, and I'm here to tell you about all the magic that is happening at Bravery Studios, New Jersey's #1 podcast recording studio. At Bravery Studios, you handle all the talking and they do the rest. That's it. Seriously, all you have to do is show up and shine. Yes, honey, work. With 3 different filming locations, there's a perfect space for every type of podcast. From cozy chats to high-energy shows, Bravery has got you covered. But wait, there's more. Bravery Studios hosts monthly events and podcast gatherings, perfect for networking and connecting with fellow creators. So what are you waiting for? Head over to Bravery Studios and let's make some podcast magic together. Do it. Come on. You know you want to. You know you want to.
I don't take the train often.
Yeah.
You know, I usually I'd
Drive.
rather drive everywhere.
Yeah.
Unless I can't. Like right now I'm in rehearsals, and so it's just really not a smart thing to drive midtown.
Oh, hell
you know,
no.
in the middle of the day. You're
Absolutely
not gonna find
not.
parking. You're gonna spend more money parking.
Exactly. I only drive into the city at night and on weekends. That's the
Right.
only time. Other than that, I'm taking the mass train. I'm a mass transit ninja. Okay.
There's pockets. So
Yeah.
it like you just gotta know the city, and there's pockets
Exactly.
where you can find parking, and then you also have to make sure that you go early to give yourself the time to find it.
Oh yeah.
Don't think you're gonna just show up and it's gonna be there. But I think like I don't know, a couple months ago I had to take the train, and didn't have anything in the Metro card,
Mm-hmm.
and one of those those damn machines don't always work. So
Mm-hmm.
my car was working. I was like, what do I do? So I hopped the fucking train. But I hadn't done it in so long.
Listen, and you didn't get caught.
I didn't because
You see?
I've gotten caught in the past, and you got to live and learn here. And so I haven't done it in so long, but I still have the etiquette for it. So I was like, I make sure I like walked as far left as I could so that I could see as far right, and then walk as far right to see as far left. And I was like, all right, cool. And then, but it was funny because I just haven't done it so long. So I
You felt like a criminal.
I banged my knee so hard,
Oh.
and I was trying to be smooth with it. I
Yeah.
wanted to be like. Like
Yeah.
I wanted to keep my upper body the same height so you couldn't see that I went up.
Yeah.
But that means you got to bring your legs even higher.
Mad high.
And
You gotta
so,
engage
like-
the abdominals. It's a lot.
So I tried to like just be real smooth with it, and boom, I was like, no, we came over.
Like I just brought attention to myself.
Yeah, I mean-
Committing a crime.
Like,
I mean, New York City, we got bigger fish to fry. We got bigger fish to fry. The subway should be
Right.
free anyway. That's how I feel. But
absolutely,
you know, it's crazy.
definitely.
But all right, I'm glad I'm not alone. I'm glad. But it was crazy. Like literally, I feel like I almost manifested it. I was like, watch, the one time I do it. The
Damn.
one time I do it, I'm gonna get caught. And I did the same thing. I did like my heart was racing. Like, all right, here we go. It was like you would have thought I was about to jump out of an airplane.
Oh my god, that roller coaster drop.
You know, that's why I
You're like,
cried. I was like, oh, I'm so stupid. But yeah, you know, I took accountability for that. I was like, I've gotten away with a lot in my life. I have.
Right. Okay.
Like, it's a miracle that I'm still here. Like, I've gotten away with a lot in my life. So
But I also feel like you're in you hold yourself accountable for a lot of things also.
I do.
So there's
I do.
balance in life.
There is
you know,
balance.
there's
There is balance. I mean, yeah, I really truly did get fired right before that happened, and I really didn't have the money to pay
Right.
the thing, you know, in that moment. But I was like, you know what, whatever. I did like some like market research focus group that paid like $200 the next week.
Oh, cool.
So in my mind, I was like, the universe just balanced it.
He was like,
The universe just balanced it out for me.
I hate
So
when it happens. It's like,
anyway, I'm making this. I'm Catholic. I got to snitch on myself. I'm making this a confession. You're my priest right now, Father Rain. Anyway, all right, let's keep this.
Father Rain, I'm
Let's
done.
keep this show on the road, all right? Let's keep this. We don't need to be confessing our crimes.
Yo,
I just bet. Okay.
That's so funny.
What was I going to say? Acting. Let's go back to
Right.
acting.
Yes.
You've been doing it for 15 years. Let's talk
Yeah.
about like the genesis. What motivated? Because you also studied engineering in school, no?
Engineering,
And then
yeah.
you switched to theater.
Yeah, that's actually how creative engineer, that term came to be, because I did an associate's degree in mechanical engineering
Okay.
first.
Mm-hmm.
I was really good at math. My dad's an engineer. So, you know, in the whole journey of what are you going to be? What do you want to do? I was like, I don't know. I tried different things. I wanted to be a lawyer at one point, but then I did an internship in high school. And
Damn, I didn't even know what an internship was in high school. That's crazy. Anyway,
yeah,
sorry.
it was the last year I was a senior, so I didn't know either until I learned. But
That's Catholic school for you. They don't teach you anything. Why am I learning Latin? It's a dead language. Anyway, carry on.
Word. And so I was like, let me go see. I wanted to be a lawyer. But it's so interesting in retrospect because now I was like, I was attracted to the performance part of being a lawyer, of standing up in front of everyone and debating these facts. Like that's what I wanted to do. Because I like debating facts, right? And then that wordplay and that presentation and of the speech and how you deliver something can really sway people and move them, right? So I liked that. But when I did the internship at the law firm and I was with a paralegal and I saw how much paperwork, how much reading, how much writing, I was like, this ain't for me. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing all of that. Look, he's stressed out. Yeah, it wasn't good. So was like, nope, not gonna be a lawyer.
I know a lot of lawyers in recovery.
You know, I also wanted to I had dreams of like maybe being a boxer. My family's a big like boxing family, fan.
Yeah,
And
it's a real Puerto Rican thing. I feel.
I mean, you know, we definitely exist in the boxing world.
Yeah. I don't really know the history of that. I'd like to learn. Anyway.
Yeah, but so. You know, then growing up in Harlem, I got into, you know, a bunch of street fights myself. So boxing was like, well, maybe I could just, you know, do this thing.
Yeah.
But I was in a relationship, my first relationship at that time, and she kind of convinced me not to. She was like, no, you're going to get hit.
You're going to fuck your face up.
Yeah, and you already know. I was like, I'm not going to get hit. What you talking about?
Yeah.
But,
can't nobody touch this.
Right.
Yeah.
But no, then I was like, all right, so maybe I won't be a boxer. So I was still kind of figuring it out. I was good at math. And then mechanical engineering has to do with everything. I think some people, when they hear mechanical engineering, they think of mechanics, like a mechanic.
Right.
No, a mechanic is like somebody that
Works
repairs cars. Mechanical engineer does everything. Like this microphone, this table, like it's all about materials and stress and the design of things. And so the dream was to actually design cars because I also liked cars. So I was like, maybe I could design my own car in the future. And
that'd be sick.
That would have been fire.
Pimp my own ride.
Could have been on the Tesla team maybe. Nah, but... But then, you know, like everything, it's nothing is ever what it seems. You know, you got to understand... And even back to like what your brother was saying, like people, we look at the end result always. You know, we never pay attention to what that journey to get to that is.
But that's kind of how our education system is programmed, is designed.
Right.
Grades. Like I was literally in the shower, I think yesterday, like, man, if I could change the world, I would change the education system to a pass-fail system because that's how fucking life works. You know? Like I was a validation. I'm just realizing how much of a validation addict I was growing up because I was addicted to getting straight A's. Addicted. If I got a 98, I would cry. That's not normal. And I was getting praised for that.
Right.
You know? Look at Alana. She's so disciplined. She's fucking sick in the head, actually. But, you know, that's what makes me me. So I'm not complaining about it.
We all got to be a little bit of crazy. And if you get 98s, then that's pretty awesome. I got a few 98s. I didn't get that many 98s.
It was bad. It was bad.
I wasn't like the straight A student. I figured that in school, I sit in front, I paid attention.
Yeah.
I did the homework. I never studied. I always passed with like a B plus.
Yeah. And that's how my brother was too.
I was okay with that.
That's how my brother was too.
I'm not about to dig my face in these books to learn and try to get 100 every time.
Yeah.
But anyway, so then becoming an engineer, I worked with my dad at his company. I was like I wasn't designing, sorry. I was doing 3D drawings of their equipment. They made ultrasound equipment for the eyes. Oh. There was a company called Sonomed. And so I was doing all types of stuff there. I was making good money, but then I went back to college, to City College, to get a bachelor degree in mechanical engineering. Because I was like, well, let me take it to the next level.
Right.
You know, I can make more money, obviously.
Exactly.
I'll go masters maybe, and still that journey to the car.
Yeah.
But then I went to City College. My first class in that first semester of, mechanical engineering, something came over me. I don't know, it hit me like a fucking, I don't know, a ton of bricks where it was like, is this it though? Like, is this gonna fulfill your life going forward forever? Because that's the thing. It's something you gotta love to do forever.
Right.
And I was sitting in the class and the guy wrote the longest equation I've ever seen.
Woof.
And it was literally the first question, first day, first class. And it wasn't that I couldn't solve that problem, because I was in Calculus 2 at that point. And when you get to that math, it literally is, you're not getting solid numbers for answers. You're getting a mini equation as answers.
Right. Right. I have an economics degree, and it was the same.
It's like
I was looking at my shit the other day, like, I used to do this. I don't even know what this means right now. This is hieroglyphics. Anyway.
Yeah, it's this long problem that literally takes about 50 minutes to solve.
Yeah.
And that's maybe fast, because you're just deriving and you're breaking down this equation, you're breaking it down, you're breaking it down.
First derivative, second derivative, velocity.
Yeah.
What's the other one? I don't remember. Anyway, it's been a while.
I dumped all that shit.
I know. I don't remember nothing.
The
The limit does not exist.
Yeah.
That's all I need to know is that the limit does not exist.
Right. And so I had this voice literally that was like, there's a theater department next door. Go and try acting. Like, go and try theater. So I was like, I literally sat in front of the class. I closed my big ass binder and I was like, I'm sorry, professor, I gotta go. I walked out, over to the theater department. And then I walked into the first office that I saw, who ended up being my mentor later. And I just told him my story. I was like, listen, I want to try this out. I had only done one play in high school at that time. And he was like, well, you're a day late to switch your major, actually. The deadline to switch your major was yesterday. And I was like, damn. But I don't know. He was just like, he looked at me and he was just like, well, let me get your stuff. Let's see what we could do. I was like, all right. Sat there. 15 minutes later, came back. He was like, congrats, you're now a theater major. And you're late for your first class, acting 101.
Clap. We need claps. Bombs. All of that.
Funk flex bombs.
Wow. Dude.
So yeah, and then
That's hard to pull off in academia, okay? Coming from just having gotten my master's, like the admin stuff. But they almost didn't let me graduate. That's a whole other story.
Right.
But
I don't know what he did, but all of a sudden I had and I was a day late.
yeah.
I not to sound corny or cliche, but it really was this divine intervention or situation or setup where it was like, because I didn't grow up once thinking about being an actor. I always saw it, but you already know, as us Latinos, our family members, our parents are not like, go and be an actor.
Yeah, go do your dreams.
Right.
Like I remember
was...
my father literally saying because my sister's a singer. Like I remember him vividly saying like, I don't know why she's wasting her time on this dream. And literally, I vividly, I feel like my whole nervous system changed when I heard him say that. Because at the time I kind of did want to sing. Too. I never said that out loud to anyone. I would lock myself in my room and sing, but I knew that was probably as far as I was going to go because I knew it wasn't realistic. Anyway,
it's a big thing, if there's any families listening or watching, like they have a bit of that power over us.
They absolutely do.
Because they're either going to fan the fire or put it out. And
it's a little T trauma. It's a little T trauma when things like that happen because it changes you.
Yeah, because you're like, oh, so I guess I can't do this.
Right.
But no, I luckily for me, my parents have always been supportive, but they were always like, you got to be lawyer, you got to be doctor, or, engineer. Yeah, sure. Solid, safe money that you can make and sustain a living, So then, boom, I switched, and I fell in love with it. I threw my entire being, my entire soul at it. But the funny part was that my parents were paying for my college back then. So, I had to go home and they were like, so how was your first day of class? And I was like, well.
Funny you asked.
I kind of did a thing, something really awesome happened today. Oh, cool. What'd you learn? I learned I don't want to be an engineer. And okay. And what are you going to do? I'm going to be an actor. And they were like, okay.
Crickets.
It was more like cookie.
Yes. Yo, we're gonna say that.
Cookie.
That's so funny.
They they had a good mask. You know, they supported. They were like, well, that's great. Oh, okay, yeah. So I could tell though that they weren't convinced.
Of course not.
But they were gonna support. You know, off of faith. And it wasn't until I did my first play that semester that then when they came and saw me live on stage, you know, afterwards, that confirmation came for them.
Yeah.
They were like, oh. You know, I just literally remember both my parents like in tears, like, yeah, okay, go.
You can do this.
You know, and I was like,
Wow.
then it was like Super Mario mushroom, bloop, 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 bloop. You know, I was like, let's go.
And that, you know what? It's crazy because I just had that experience with my mom.
Oh, wow.
You know, my dad passed when I was in college. And actually, I think if my dad didn't pass, I don't think I would have ever started acting, you know?
Wow.
But that's literally a whole other episode. But my mom came to one of my plays in Baton Rouge. Mind you, I'm in my 30s now, you know, and it was her and my aunt. And in the play, I didn't realize this until they were about to come. In the play, I lost my husband. Like, I received the news that my husband's dead. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I was nervous. I never had to break down like that on stage before. And I was just like, I hope I can pull this off. I hope I can pull this off. And night after night after night, I pulled it off. And I didn't realize until they were on their way. I was like, oh my God. I might get emotional. I was like, both my mom and my aunt have lost their husbands.
Oof.
You know, like when we say acting under imaginary circumstances, living truthfully under imaginary circumstances, those circumstances can be imaginary to us, but those circumstances are very real to other people.
100%.
And that was like the pinnacle of that for me. And I was like, I gotta do this, you know? And I did, and I sold it every night. And when my mom went back home from that trip, she called me and she was like, I'm sorry if I made you feel like you couldn't do this. Like, I'm sorry if I made you feel like I didn't believe you could do this. And I was like, you have no idea how much I needed to hear you say that.
Yeah.
Like, no idea.
Yeah.
You know? So
it's very powerful.
It's very powerful. It's very powerful. It was so powerful. I was like, I have complete strangers who don't even know me telling me, you could be the future of theater, you know? And mind you, the people that you desperately need to hear that stuff from.
That's so crazy.
It's crazy.
That's
and
so
because
crazy.
even if your family member tells you, like, I believe in you, you can feel.
That's what I'm telling you.
We are energy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this is a thing with acting that, you know, I've learned is that, you know, listening is not just auditory. It's not just related to the ear, like it's energetic, and we are trained to receive that energy.
100%.
So it's like, okay, like I know your words are contradicting your energy, and I can feel that. And you know, like, what do we do with that? We just keep going. We have to use it as motivation. Yeah, you know. But sorry, that story was.
Yeah, no, I love that. I like to say that, you know, for actors, we're speaking English, but what we're actually fluent in is body language. You know, as actors, that's what we're trained to understand. Yeah. And express, you know. And it's in those powerful performances, right? Like, it's not about being loud or obnoxious or crazy or putting on these masks of I'm happy now or I'm sad now. Yeah. It's more about what's happening. What's your body language saying? Yeah. You know, if I tell you I'm fine, I'm okay, but my body's not saying that, that's the captivating part of the performance. Like, oh shit. Because now they're in, the audience is involved. Oh, they lying. You could tell he's lying. They start getting into it, you know, because body language we're trained in it, but it comes natural to all of us.
We do it, we do it as humans. We do it as human beings. In fact, there's one theory that only 7% of communication is verbal. 7%. I forgot the rest. It's like 55% is body language. Another bigger percent is like tone, you know. But yes, 7% of communication is words. Yeah. Think about that. Wow. See, y'all be learning on this shit. I'll be dropping knowledge and shit. Don't play with me. All right? Actor, comedian, teacher. All right? Putting the T in this bitch today. Okay? Yeah, man.
So yeah. And then, but even after that confirmation, they were like, go, go, go. Still, there was years, they were like, oh yeah, that's great. But because of those downtime periods, right? And they don't, again, get it because they're not in it. They're like, oh yeah, but what's your backup plan? They'll have that language.
Right.
Like, what's your plan B though? Like maybe, you can come back to the office and do some engineering stuff, and I did like twice. I was still pursuing acting, but I still went back and would just.
But we got to pay the bills. I mean,
Right,
that's the
right.
thing. That's the
100%.
thing. You can't like this starving artist shit. No, we not.
It's rough.
No, we not starving. Not in this economy. Okay, not the way inflation has been inflating. Like we need to live because also at the end of the day, like we need to be healthy.
Right.
To be actors.
Yeah.
Like we are athletes,
Yeah.
like it's not, I only learned getting my MFA, like how much of an athlete you have to be a theater actor.
Well, your body's your instrument. Right?
It's exactly. And it's all connected. Mind, body, spirit, So we really do have to take care of ourselves. And I don't know about you, but like if I'm stressed, which I have been, if I'm stressing out financially, for years on end, like that, especially as adults, you know what I mean? It affects the self-esteem.
So many layers.
You know, like I've always been making money, like I've always had a job. Like even when I didn't need to work, I still wanted my own money, Like you're not going to manipulate me, Dad. I'm going to take this away. Nah, fuck that. I bought that shit myself.
You don't pay my phone
You know
bill?
what I'm saying? Right.
No,
you don't pay my phone,
sure.
but watch me throw this LG, which I used to do all the time. Anyway, I used to throw my phone like it was a boomerang. I swear to God, but it never came back.
Well, you want to be independent. But definitely, the journey of an artist is not. You don't get there fast.
It's a lifetime.
Again, that creative process is collaboration, and the artist journey, it can definitely be lonely a lot of times. Because again, at least for me, I'm very like a very self-reflective person.
We have to be because we have to know ourselves
Right.
first.
Exactly.
In order to create a character. Like if you don't know how you feel about something,
Right.
how are you going to know how this person feels?
100%.
Like we have to know
100%.
ourselves.
And so definitely I, definitely love my solitude, just like I really enjoy being alone sometimes. And which is crazy because then if you see me on, like I'm networking, I'm an extrovert for sure.
Yeah.
Like I talk to everybody, but there's that balance. Then I need that time to just kind of be quiet to myself, doing either nothing or whatever I want to do to give me some space from all the stuff we got to think about.
All the noise.
So yeah, then the journey started, and it's been one thing after another.
Yeah.
It's been nonstop.
And you've
honestly.
had some awesome successes.
Yeah, definitely. It's been a lot of fun.
I'll just drop a few. I know. I don't know how many listeners here are theater people, but you got to be in the premiere of a John Patrick Shanley play recently. You relatively recently, right?
2021.
Okay, yeah, within the last few years. I'm sorry,
3
it's still September 2019 in my brain.
Right.
But that was the last time I was relaxed. So you've done that. You've done Blue Bloods. You've done Law and Order.
Right.
Definitely. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about some of the accolades.
Those are definitely like 3, I want to say, like, as far as theater, that originating the John Patrick Shanley, a role in his play, that was awesome for me. I got some awesome, theatrical reviews from that. We were like one of the first theater productions to come back into live performances after the pandemic.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, like it was a whole thing. They weren't doing live performances, so people had to wear masks.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I know a couple people who went to see your show that had COVID, but I'm not going to drop names.
Right. Well, luckily they wore their fucking masks, or there was just a distance. It was a whole thing, but that was an experience. Shout out to John Patrick Shanley. I mean, he's great.
Yeah, shout out to you, John.
Yeah, that experience was very different though from almost any other theater experience I've ever had. Just because as a writer, he was so involved still throughout the whole process.
So because it was a premiere, I'm assuming the script was continuously changing.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Everything was continuously changing.
Yeah.
Even we did 21 shows, I think, of that play. And so it was night after night, you're doing the same thing.
Right.
Which was kind of awesome, but definitely a challenge.
Yeah.
Because the character was one of the leads of it, and then I had to bring all these different emotions on, and then at the end, I'm dying and I'm dead and I'm crying. And so, I think 17 out of 21 performances, I was able to bring it and like be bawling at the end. Those other 3 nights, it was just exhausting. But there were also micro things that happened within the play, that affected, because it's never going to be the same.
Never.
So somebody maybe dropped a line, or oh shit, we skipped a whole fucking scene and we went into the next. So it was a lot of crazy stuff going on. But again, also, I was getting notes from the director, from the producer, from John Patrick Shanley, backstage almost after every show, before every show, to the point where at one time I had to tell them, I was like, all right, listen, like, y'all need to come together with your notes.
Talk about it.
I'm like, because I can go in any direction you want me to go here. But you're telling me one thing, you're telling me another thing, and he's telling me another thing.
Right.
And they're not all the same thing.
Right.
So who do I listen to?
Exactly.
Because what I'm going to do at the end of the day is what I want to do. I literally told them, I was like, because at what point do I get to bring my own creative expression and my ideas into this? And just to be more specific, there was like, a piece where like at the end, the kid gets stabbed, long story short, I get stabbed, and I'm like dying out. And it's a experimental kind of piece. So I was playing an 11-year-old.
Okay.
But this piece,
I kind of like that though.
This piece couldn't be performed by an actual 11-year-old because the context of it is very heavy.
Yeah,
and the language is crazy.
They would be in therapy.
Yeah, exactly. And so I was doing this thing where like I was fighting for my life while I was dying, and it wasn't like in a grand way. It was like in like these micro movements on stage, and every time I did that, you could hear people in the audience crying, like 'cause they didn't want, they're literally watching me die.
Yeah.
And I'm fighting to not die, but then I die anyway. So I thought it was great. But then like literally halfway through those performances, if there's 21, then like let's say 11, after 11 performances, they're like, yeah, Marc, we don't want you to do that anymore. John Patrick was like, we don't, don't move that way, don't do those things. If anything, go the other way. And I understand what they wanted to go with, which was like, because he was a kid, he was young, and I was with the love of my life in that moment that I was dying finally, so I was more happy, and then I die. And I was like, I could see that, but visually, because the audience is, like as an actor, as a character, that's a cool choice to see me like I'm not worried about dying. I'm with the love of my life. I'm actually in my happiest moment, and then I die. That's a choice too.
Yeah.
But I just think visually, and then because I didn't get the time to even rehearse or like dig deeper into that, those choices, I feel like it was different. Because now, those sniffles and those cry and those impact, because people at the end of the play would be like, Marc, like, why you, like, I'm like, fuck, that had me crying, like, the way you were doing this thing. And they said, no, take that out. So it was such a crazy experience for me, because it was like, it was great at some points, and then at some points it was like,
Yeah, and that's like, as far as theater goes, that's how it be. Like, that's how
everything's
it be.
live. Everything's live.
Everything's live. You're gonna get notes till the very end, and people are like, my biggest pet peeve was always the director or whomever telling me what not to do. It's like, I can't really, these are not actionable solutions for me.
Right.
These are not actionable. So tell me what you do want.
Exactly.
Or at least in your own words.
Yeah, exactly.
And I will interpret that. But like continuously telling me what not to do was not. And in an emotional way, like not something tangible. Like don't slap the floor. Yep, that's whatever. You know what I mean? Like if it's
fine.
not tangible,
Yeah.
like I need an actionable note. I need actionable notes. And unfortunately, sometimes we're going to deal with people who can't communicate that way because there are a lot of directors that really don't know how to speak the actor's language, you know?
Right.
But
so
yeah,
that
thank
was
you for sharing
great.
that.
And then, you know, moving forward, not taking too much time, you know, I got into this other space in my life where I felt like I was, you know, I needed to focus again on my acting. I got kind of distracted, you know, not to go too heavy into it, but I was doing a lot of social media stuff, you know, being an influencer, I guess, as they say.
Whoever they are.
Right. Creating content. I mean, everyone these days are, right? If you're creating content now on IG. But anyway, so I got kind of, I don't want to say distracted, but again, it was that I was busy, but where was the momentum? And I was like, this isn't my dream. I don't want necessarily this. You know, people started to recognize me then as like an IG comedian. And I was like, wait.
I'm an actor.
Not that there's anything wrong with being an IG comedian if that's what you do and that's how you want to be, you know, your artistic pronouns, which is why I love that you say that. Then that's fine. But that's not what I am. That's not what I've been building up for. Don't put that over my head, kind of thing. So I really had to fall back, you know, and when you create those boundaries, people fall off, you know, and I was okay with that, you know, because I had already done this like 2 or 3 times in my life. So then I knew that the moment I do that, something really good is coming.
Exactly.
And guess what? It did. Because as soon as I started to focus, and I always say this, like, every action should have intention. Because those intentions is what the universe is receiving. Through every action. What's your intention in that action? The universe is going to respond. So I was like, I'm stopping this because I'm focusing on my career because I know that I got to take it to the next level, right? I'm letting go of these people because they're not actually real friends, you know, and all kind of stuff like that. So I was trimming. And I was like, I'm going to get me an agent because I was holding off on that. I'm going to go SAG finally because I was holding off on that. I've been eligible for years. I was like, and then I'm going to get back and I'm going to do series TV work.
Yes.
Like, that's what I want. Because I had done a bunch of independent shorts, you know, independent features at this point. So in the independent realm, I felt strong. I was like, I need to now rack these credits up on TV. And literally then, in like weeks and months, I, you know, got my agent. I went SAG, and then I booked Blue Bloods, you know, literally in like 3 months.
That's crazy.
Legit.
That's a testament. That is a testament to like being true to you and having intention.
And then shortly after that, then my agent, she got me the Law and Order audition, and that was great.
And they brought you back, right? Because wasn't that originally only supposed to be one episode?
Yeah, it was like a 1 for like the possible 3, but pretty much they were just like, well, let's see if you're good.
Right.
If you're any good, then we'll extend you. If not, then you're a one-off, like as a episode situation. And it went great. I mean, it really was confirmation for me that, you know, when I had let all these people and all that kind of stuff go, where it was like, this is where you belong, though, Marc.
Yeah.
You see, because I know, a bunch of people, they, you know, told me stories about their experiences on set, how nervous, and, you know, and it is, I could see, you could be really nervous. It's like 100 people on set.
It's a lot. You don't, people,
you know, there's...
People only see the scene on TV. Nah, they're like 100 people in the house we're shooting in.
There's like 100 people there, you know, and everyone's doing their job, you know, and you're trying to now be comfortable, be natural, and they're putting on thing and they're doing these last looks and you know, the light, and they're talking
and you're sweating balls,
you know,
because it's hot.
And it's hot. I mean, luckily my scene it wasn't hot, but because it was freezing outside. It was freezing outside.
Okay.
So but the temperature was balanced. But you know, I'm like, I was about to be on camera with, you know, fucking Christopher Maloney, Stabler from Law and Order, and I was just like, this is like big, but you can't be starstruck in the moment. You can't treat anybody like, at this point I was like, this is my coworker, this is my colleague, this is my scene partner, you know, or even deeper as an actor, this is now an agent coming to see me while I'm getting my dialysis treatment, while I'm in jail, you know, and there was a moment that I was feeling these nerves. I was like, oh shit, like Because Blue Bloods, that was cakewalk, man. Had a lot of fun on Blue Bloods. That was a great team. I didn't feel these nerves on Blue Bloods, though. I don't know why.
Well, this was a bigger part.
Well, it was a bigger part.
You had more responsibility.
Yeah, the Blue Bloods was mad fun. They caught me and my girl, we chilling in the crib, and the cops were trying to bust in the door, and I went into the bathroom, and I'm cutting the cocaine up into the toilet, and I'm flushing it. You know what I mean?
That shit was hilarious.
And then the cops don't catch me, and I'm like, you too late kind of thing. You know, so that was really fun. Where this, I think, took a little bit more, definitely character work, scene work.
Right.
You know, and then I was like, I knew I needed to be good so that, you know, I get those two next episodes.
Yeah.
And so I ran into an old friend that I hadn't seen in like 10 years. He ended up on set somehow, and he was like, Mark, and I was like, kind of, who are you? Kind of thing. He was like, oh, and he showed me the picture, and I was like, what the hell? He's like, oh, dude, like, you nervous? And I was like, a little. He was like, why? He's like, you belong here. And I hadn't seen this dude in like 10 years.
And
you know, I was like, he's right. I was like, you know what? I took 2 deep breaths, did some breath work, and then I just sat back and I was like, let's just go to work.
And let's just be present. Let's just be here.
And we killed that. We had so much fun. Me and Stabler, we started like cracking jokes on set because he's a jokester. You know, he's a big jokester on set. And so he made a joke on while we were at, like, once they called cut or before they called cut. He made a joke and everyone laughed. And I was like, oh, that's what we doing? I'm like, because I could do that too.
Yeah.
Hold on. So like the next
Somebody
take,
give me the mic. Where's the mic stand? Where's the mic and the mic stand?
the next take, because then they had like a small little break. Me and him talked. Like he sat down with me. He was talking to me. He was like about the scene. And we literally had this back and forth banter of actor talk about this one line that I had. And that was really awesome because he was like, I told him what I felt about it. And he was like, oh, I actually really like that. He was like, yeah, okay, we'll go with that. And then he told me, you know what? Like, don't give a shit. Give yourself the permission to do it how you want to do it. And I was like, whoa, he's fucking awesome for that.
That's amazing.
You know, because I was like, yeah, I could do it. Like, why not? We get so like, oh, I don't want to mess up.
Right, and it has
like,
to be perfect.
Oh, well, maybe I shouldn't do that because I didn't ask them yet, you know? And he was like, don't give a shit. Give yourself permission to fuck it up. And I was like, word. Next scene, killed that shit. And he looked at me when they called cut and he was like, and I was like,
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for
Thank
sharing that story. And I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
And I can't wait to see what happens next.
Yes.
And we got to get out of here.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
I'm sorry. We start talking deep and, you know, it takes a long time to get out that rabbit hole.
I feel like it does. It does. Like, we have to finish the thought. And I feel like you kind of already gave great advice, but you can piggyback off of yourself if you want. So
right.
Last 2 questions. How do you suggest that people can take action to ascend, can act up today?
On a daily basis, I had thought about this. I think something we don't hear enough or do enough for ourselves is forgive ourselves every day. You know, for whatever we decided to do yesterday, a month ago.
And your breath.
Forgive yourself for the things you did or didn't do still, you know, because we have those things. We're like, we're going to do it. Yeah, I'm going to eat better. I'm going to go to the gym. And you don't do it today. It's okay. Forgive yourself for not doing it. It's a new day. It's a new opportunity. Maybe you'll get to do it. Maybe you're really busy today, you know, and so practice that self-forgiving, you know, to allow yourself to get back on the horse and just, you know, get that stride in.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I really needed to hear that. I feel like every time I ask this question, whatever my guest says, I'm like, I really needed to hear that today. So thank you for saying that. I hope y'all appreciate that at home as well. And last question, if you were writing your memoir right now, what would you name this chapter of your life?
I love this question because I was like, what the hell? I might have to write my own memoir one day.
You will.
And
you will.
I think this would, I want to make it all like thespian related terms. This would have to be stage up, you know.
Stage up.
Yeah.
Stage up, baby.
Yeah.
Act up, stage up, get it together, forgive yourself. You heard?
Facts.
You feel me? Okay, Mark. So also just quick plug, Mark is also the lead of the film Playing Sam, which I had Ramon, the
yes.
director of the film, on the show. Watch it on Roku. It's on the Roku channel now. Obviously, look for Mark on Blue Bloods and Law and Order. And where can the people find
You
you?
already know. I mean, definitely follow me on Instagram, at Marc, MARC _ Rain, REIGN. That's where most of the stuff that I'm up to is getting posted.
It's lit.
Yeah.
It's lit. You already know where to follow me. Act Up with AJ, AlanaJ.tv. I love you. Subscribe. Tell your friends. Tell your mama. Tell your sister. Tell your brother. Tell your uncle. Peace.
Peace.